The chamber was silent, the kind of silence that only comes before a storm. Cameras hummed, lights glared, and every eye was fixed on the two figures at the center of it all. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, sharp, fiery, and unyielding, and Senator John Kennedy, the Southern gentleman whose wit could cut sharper than steel. What began as a routine committee hearing was about to explode into a clash that would echo far beyond the marble walls of Washington. Jasmine Crockett leaned forward, her voice carrying the weight of frustration that had been building for months. She had watched policies stall, seen working families suffer, and felt the hypocrisy of politicians who spoke of justice but delivered only obstruction. Her words came like thunder, pointed, passionate, unrelenting. She challenged Kennedy directly, accusing him of hiding behind clever rhetoric while real people were drowning in crises. The room stirred as her voice rose, every syllable dripping with conviction. But John Kennedy was not a man easily rattled. For years, he had danced through the fires of politics with his mix of humor and Southern drawl, disarming even the harshest attacks with charm and unexpected wit. He listened calmly, hands folded, his face betraying nothing. Then, just as Jasmine paused to catch her breath, Kennedy leaned into the microphone. "Congresswoman," he began, his tone as polite as it was piercing, "I admire your passion. I truly do. But passion without facts is like a car without wheels. It makes a lot of noise, but it doesn't get you anywhere." The room erupted. Reporters. Fingers flew across keyboards. The clash had turned from heated debate into an all-out verbal duel. Jasmine, usually quick with a retort, froze for the first time. Kennedy's clapback was not just clever, it was surgical. It stripped her argument bare and left the room buzzing. Still, Crockett was no stranger to adversity. She straightened her shoulders, her mind racing. This wasn't just about her pride. It was about the people who sent her to Washington, the families who trusted her voice to carry their pain into the halls of power. Slowly, she began again, this time less fiery but more deliberate, laying out stories of single mothers, veterans, and workers whose lives were tied to the policies Kennedy dismissed. Her words softened but deepened, carrying the weight of human struggle. Kennedy, to his credit, didn't scoff. He listened, though his eyes stayed sharp. Then he struck again, not with mockery, but with one of his signature lines, half joke, half sermon. "Congresswoman, I don't doubt your heart, but sometimes when I hear these arguments, I feel like I'm watching someone trying to put socks on a rooster. It just doesn't work." The chamber cracked into laughter. Even some of Crockett's allies couldn't suppress their chuckles. But here's where the tide shifted. Instead of letting the humor silence her, Jasmine leaned into it. She smiled, a rare acknowledgement in such a heated exchange, and countered, "Well, Senator, maybe the problem isn't the rooster, it's the people who keep building the wrong kind of barn." The laughter doubled, but this time the energy was different. It wasn't one side laughing at the other, it was both sides realizing they were witnessing something extraordinary. What started as an attack and a clapback had transformed into something more, two fierce voices, colliding, but somehow finding common ground in the fire. The clash went viral within hours. Social media split between those praising Kennedy's wit and those applauding Crockett's resilience. Yet beneath the noise, something deeper lingered. People didn't just remember the barbs. They remembered the moment two politicians, from vastly different worlds, had stripped away the rehearsed speeches and spoke like real people. In the days that followed, Crockett and Kennedy were both asked about the exchange. Surprisingly, both admitted to having gained respect for the other. Crockett acknowledged that Kennedy's humor forced her to sharpen her arguments, while Kennedy admitted that her stories reminded him of the human side of policies he too often reduced to numbers. The lesson was clear. Politics isn't about silencing the other, it's about clashing, yes, but clashing in a way that forces the truth to sharpen, not shatter. For every viewer who watched, whether they agreed with Kennedy or Crockett, there was something inspiring in the moment they both realized that passion and wit could coexist with respect. And so, the story of Jasmine Crockett's fiery attack and John Kennedy's epic clapback didn't end with humiliation or triumph. It ended with something rare in politics, an unexpected bridge, built not through agreement, but through the courage to stand firm, clash openly, and walk away with heads high. Because in the end, the truest victory wasn't in who had the better line, it was in showing the nation that even in the sharpest debates, dignity and dialogue could still survive.